to supplement a little bit of what you heard. Obviously, we're here because the defendant used his badge as a license to try to coerce sexual favors in exchange for either dismissing the ticket or not giving one altogether to these female motorists. He did this on the roadside. He did it in his patrol vehicle with Ms. Shang, with Ms. Song, and he did it in the courthouse at the 15th District Court. The court did not hear from Ms. Shang today. Part of her experience is reflected in the report. I would just indicate or highlight that because of her fear, because she was so terrified of the defendant, that even though she was dubious about the speeding ticket, and we don't know if it was a legitimate ticket or not, but she was dubious that she was speeding as claimed by the defendant. So she knew, knowing that she didn't think it was a legitimate ticket, she still paid that ticket because she was afraid to even see him in the courthouse. So there we have someone giving up their right to due process to a hearing to which they're entitled because of their encounter with the defendant. So as the court can glean, the defendant, these experiences were targeted and predatory and deliberate. As he approached these female motorists, he sized them up. He quickly deduced whether or not these were women who struggled with English or were unfamiliar with the criminal justice system or proper police conduct. As one of the victims said, in my country, I'm used to the corruption, but this was something totally different. So the consequences, as the court can see and hear from the victims, were immediate and enduring. While they had the terror of knowing that the defendant was trying to coerce a sexual favor as the way out of a ticket, the trauma continues to this day. And that's what's unfortunate, and that is what really addresses what Ms. Noveski was arguing on the defendant's behalf earlier. This isn't any other offender. This is someone who abused his authority, his power behind the badge and the uniform in the police vehicle, the weapons which were quite obvious. This was an armed police officer making these demands on these women. So while there is the individual specific injury to these women, what's unique about police misconduct is that it affects the whole community. And that's what I want to address above and beyond what the court just heard. While these women have their mistrust of the police and the criminal justice system, it's something that permeates into the community. So while the defendant did plead, and so there is some measure of accountability, it's really through the court's sentence that some public trust may be restored further. And that's why this hearing is so important.